Take a slow breath in and let it out gently, allowing your body to find its own calm rhythm. Knowing that in this quiet space you are safe, supported, and free to rest. Tonight is meant for ease, a time when the mind can soften and the body can drift toward sleep without effort. You do not need to go anywhere. You do not need to do anything. You only need to rest where you are. Let the weight of the day begin to settle behind you, as if the thoughts that carried you here can now rest on a far and gentle shoreline. In this peaceful place, there is no demand, only quiet presence and the comfort of being held by stillness. As the pace slows, imagine yourself near the edge of the sea, where the air is cool and carries the faint scent of salt, and the waves rise and fall without hurry. In the distance stands an abandoned lighthouse, weathered but steady, its stones warmed by many seasons, its windows glinting softly in the moonlight. Even though it no longer guides ships, the tower still glows faintly in the dark, a quiet beacon that shines for no reason other than it continues to shine. Everything about it suggests ease, a light that simply lingers, a glow that belongs to the night itself. The ocean moves around it, soft and untroubled, and the world seems to exhale in time with a rolling tide. Allow this image to become part of your own rhythm, as calm, light, and steady waves begin to fill your imagination. Everything is steady tonight. As you continue to relax, let the rhythm of your breath stay unhurried, and let the body grow heavier against the place where you rest, so that comfort gathers around you like a soft blanket. The night is wide and unbroken, the air cool but gentle, and the only sound is the hush of water moving slowly against stone. In this quiet setting, the abandoned lighthouse comes more fully into view, its tall frame rising above the shoreline, a shape that has stood for years against the sky and the sea. The tower is empty now, yet it holds its own kind of presence, carrying the memory of guiding lights and passing ships, though tonight it asks nothing of you. Its walls are pale in the moonlight, softened by time and weather, and the glow that seeps from within is steady and calm, like the last ember of a fire that simply refuses to fade. You may picture the door, worn but still in place, the windows glimmering faintly as if they remember every tide and every dawn. Step by step, the scene becomes slower, less about detail and more about the feeling of being near it, of standing close enough to notice the stone is cool under your hand and the air is touched with salt. Around you, the waves continue their pattern, rolling in with a quiet sigh, rolling back with a gentle retreat, again and again in an endless rhythm that asks nothing more than to be noticed. The light above glows without effort, a reminder that calmness can exist without reason, and peace can be found in stillness itself. Everything is steady tonight. In this place, time itself feels slower, the edges of thought soften, and the lighthouse stands as a quiet companion to your rest. Steady and unwavering, guiding nothing, asking nothing, simply being. Its glow mingles with the stars, each point of light another gentle reminder of quiet continuity. The sea stretches outward, a broad expanse that holds every movement in a soft embrace. In the shoreline is a place where the world feels smaller, safer, more contained. You may imagine the sound of the water reaching you where you rest, a hush that continues without pause, always familiar, always gentle. Everything is steady tonight. With each breath, the story becomes less a tale to follow and more a calm presence that surrounds you. It's like soft lamplight filling a quiet room, ready to hold you as you drift towards sleep. The lighthouse stands in its quiet place by the sea, and as we return to it again and again, its steady glow becomes a rhythm of comfort, a pattern as simple as breathing in and out, a reminder that light can linger gently in the night without calling for attention or urgency, simply existing in calm balance with the waves and the sky. And each time you imagine it, the sense of rest grows deeper and more familiar. Imagine first the tile shape of the tower, its stones pale and weathered. The edge is softened by years of salt air and gentle rains. The surface cool to the touch, carrying the memory of storms long gone. And now, only standing quietly, no longer tasked with warning ships, no longer needed for direction, only present as a part of the landscape. The glow that comes from its windows is faint but steady, not bright enough to change the night. It's only bright enough to remind you that the dark is never empty, and in that reminder, there is comfort. Everything is steady tonight. The ocean rolls against the rocks below, the tide rising and falling in long, unbroken stretches of sound, a hush that never tires, never stops, never hurries, always moving in its own rhythm, much like the body resting, much like breath finding its own pace without being told. The lighthouse glow falls across the surface of the water, creating a gentle shimmer, line of soft brightness that stretches and bends with the moving tide, never fixed, always flowing, yet always there. Each time the waves pass, they carry away a little more thought, a little more weight, leaving the mind lighter, the body more at ease. In this cycle, the scene repeats itself. The tower stands, the glow continues, the waves roll, and nothing changes in a way that asks for attention. Everything remains steady and calm. Imagine walking slowly around the base of the lighthouse, noticing the texture of the stones, rough in some places, smooth in others, each one shaped by time, each one part of the whole structure that stands without effort. The night air is cool on your skin, not cold, just refreshing, carrying the faint scent of salt and seaweed. A scent that suggests distance and openness, yet also safety and grounding. Above you, the light glows in its slow rhythm, not flashing, not urgent, just glowing, a quiet companion to the stars. Everything is steady tonight. Each mini-cycle is like the waves themselves, repeating, returning, familiar and steady, bringing you further into rest with every gentle return. Imagine again the light spilling faintly across the stones, catching on the edges of windows, falling down to the ground in a thin, gentle stripe, then softening as the night air carries it away. The glow does not command, it only lingers, and its lingering presence is enough. As you picture it, the breath slows, the heart steadies, the body finds its own place of rest, because the story itself carries no demand, only quiet repetition. Around the tower, the sea continues, rolling in and rolling back, bringing with it the sound of endless calm. Each wave is a mirror of the last. Each shimmer of light across the water is a mirror of the one before. And in this sameness, there is comfort. A reminder that the world holds patterns that do not need to be solved, only noticed, only allowed to be. Everything is steady tonight. Imagine sitting near the base of the lighthouse, perhaps on a smooth rock worn by many tides, the sound of the sea steady on both sides, the faint glow above warming the edge of the night sky. From this place, time feels wide and slow, with nothing pressing, nothing needed. Only the steady companionship of water, stone, and light. The longer you linger, the more the scene seems to fold gently into itself, the glow continuing, the waves rolling, the night holding you in its quiet arms. Each time the glow passes across the surface of the sea, it is as if a new page is turned, though the story remains the same. A story of light that continues, water that moves, air that cools, stone that steadies, and rest that deepens. Everything is steady tonight. The cycles continue, gentle as breathing, soft as lamplight across a wooden floor, easy as the sound of water against a shore. Each return another reminder that nothing is asked of you. Nothing is required. Everything is enough as it is. The lighthouse stands, glowing faintly in the night. The sea continues its endless rhythm, and the sky above holds its stars without hurry. Together, they create a space where thought grows soft and the body is free to drift, where the glow is never too bright, never too dim, always enough, always present. Everything is steady tonight. In these many returns, the calmness deepens. The repetition itself becoming the comfort, like a lullaby of stone and sea and light that carries you steadily toward the deepest rest. The lighthouse continues to stand by the quiet sea, and in this part of our time together, we return again, not to add anything new or demanding, but to let the calmness unfold in another layer, soft and steady, like waves that circle back to the same shore. The glow within the tower does not change. It does not need to. It simply carries on as it always has. And in this very simplicity, there is room to rest, room to breathe, room to let the mind drift without concern. Everything is steady tonight. Around the lighthouse, the night holds its own gentle variety, not sharp or sudden, but subtle and tender. And we can notice 5 soft details that add depth to the scene, like stones in a quiet path, the way the lamplight brushes against the water, the coolness of the night air, the softened edges of weathered stone, the scent of salt carried on the breeze, and the slow rhythm of the tide moving in and out. These are not points to remember or keep, but simply passing textures, each one joining the others in an endless sequence of rest. The sea continues its low and constant song, waves lifting and lowering in an unbroken pattern, as if the water itself were breathing. The lighthouse glow reaches out across the surface, stretching into ripples and lines that bend with the tide, always moving, always familiar. Everything is steady tonight. As you linger with this picture, the rhythm of repetition becomes clearer. The same elements returning, the same comfort deepening, like being wrapped in layer upon layer of soft fabric. The tower stands, the light glows, the water moves, the night holds, and each repetition carries away another measure of thought, another trace of weight, until only stillness remains. Imagine again running a hand along the stone, the surface cool, slightly rough, but steady beneath your touch, as if the lighthouse were lending its patience to you. Imagine the air moving gently across your face, not strong, not sharp, but calm, reminding you that the night is broad, that time is generous, that nothing is needed here. Everything is steady tonight. Above, the stars continue their silent presence, each one a tiny glow like the lamp in the tower, each one unhurried, each one part of the same endless calm. Around you, the sound of waves repeats in cycles too many to count. Cycles that have no beginning and no end, only movement, only return, only rest. The glow does not fade, the sea does not stop, the night does not end. They continue together, steady as breath, steady as thought, falling quiet. The longer you stay within this rhythm, the less there is to separate the story from the stillness. The more it all becomes one wide field of calm where you can rest without effort. Everything is steady tonight. Each return of the glow across the water is like a gentle voice reminding you that all is well. Each roll of the tide is like a soft touch guiding you deeper into ease. Each breath is like the turning of a page in a book that never needs to be finished, because the comfort is already here in every word, every pause, every image of light and sea and stone. And so the cycles continue, always the same, always new, always steady, leading you slowly into the quietest part of night. The night holds everything in a wide, soft embrace, and as we come to the final part of this quiet journey, the lighthouse remains, its glow still steady, its presence still calm, asking nothing and offering only the comfort of continuity, like a gentle rhythm that has always been here and will always be here. The sea moves in the same way it has throughout the night, rolling in, rolling back, each movement slower in your mind, each sound gentler in your imagination, until the tide becomes more like breath than water, and breath itself becomes easier, calmer, slower. Everything is steady tonight. You may picture again the stone walls of the lighthouse, weathered and pale, carrying years of quiet endurance. standing not for attention, but simply for being. The glow within them, neither bright nor dim, only constant, a presence you can return to with every thought, every pause, every moment of drifting closer to sleep. The waves reflect that glow, bending it into ripples that move across the surface, never fixed, always flowing. And the softness of this motion is like the softness of a lullaby, repeating without end, asking nothing of you. Everything is steady tonight. Imagine once more the cool air on your skin, the scent of salt in the breeze, the slow touch of night that wraps around you like a blanket. And know that these details are here, not as tasks to hold, but as companions. Simple, steady, repeating until thought itself begins to fade. The stars remain above, countless and quiet, each one a point of stillness, each one a part of the same calm that fills the sea, the stone, and the glow. The lighthouse, the water, the sky, and the night are no longer separate in your mind. They fold into one single presence, an unbroken field of rest, endless and gentle, carrying you deeper with every moment. Everything is steady tonight. As your breath continues, you may feel the weight of your body heavier against where you rest, the mind softer, the rhythm slower. And in this slowing, there is peace. In this heaviness, there is release. In this night, there is room to let go. The story does not need to end, because it was never about reaching an ending, only about dwelling in repetition, in calmness, in the glow that continues without reason. And so the lighthouse remains, its glow steady, the sea repeating. It's the night holding you gently, while thought drifts further and further away, until only rest remains. Everything is steady tonight. Good night.